Former Secretary of State, now the United States presidential envoy for climate change, John Kerry, did a fireside chat on sustainability. He had lots to say. He was pushing the idea of keeping the 1.5 degree target for global warming alive, and he even had a bit of a laugh about all the flying he does while he's jetting around the world trying to get everyone else to reduce their carbon emissions.
What has been the most challenging aspect of your role as special envoy for climate?
Making my flights on time.
But all of these discussions that take place about climate change fail to address the elephant in the room, which is that people in Canada, the United Kingdom, even to some extent the United States, certainly European countries, they could drop their emissions radically. Some countries could eliminate every single emission, and it's not going to amount to any substantial difference in the world without China doing the same. China, which as recently as November, was increasing its coal production. How does that align with all of these net zero goals that John Kerry was talking about? But John Kerry doesn't want to answer questions about the elephant in the room. Take a look. Why should anyone else in the world have to deal with emissions reductions when China is not? You can't speak about China's impact, sir? Why should we have to deal with carbon prices when China is not lowering its emissions? Absolutely. You're between me and him. It's okay. As you can see there, an aide very quickly intercepted him and told us we couldn't be on private property, so we went out to the street where he was sauntering along, and then a security guard came and told us to keep our distance, which we didn't need to because John Kerry was certainly keeping his distance from us. But how can you have a meaningful discussion about climate without being prepared to talk about China? John Kerry, by his own admission, said even though the vice premier of China is at Davos, they haven't had a chance to sit down yet, but he would be happy to do so. Well, whether or not that meeting takes place, I have no idea, but people around the world still need to realize that it is not fair for Westerners, for Canadians, for Brits, for Americans to have to deal with carbon taxes, to have to deal with these draconian emissions reduction schemes, these very punitive measures, these assaults on industry, when the actual emitters in the world are not doing the same. And people like John Kerry know that and refuse to talk about it.